Okay, folks, let's try this one. Can we hear anything over here?
Testing for Tom.
Testing.
Yes, there we go. Okay. So just something set up there. Awesome. Well, that's fine. We'll keep it on the worldview stream, and we'll get this rolling. So easy enough. Well, welcome everyone. Sorry for the delay, the hiccup. This is our first creator interview, so we're just getting started, getting used to it, and we had a new overlay, but evidently something's off with the overlay's audio, so we'll get that sorted, and hopefully by the next interview we're up and running. Want to welcome to the stream Anthony from Talon&Claw. Thank you so much for
Hello.
jumping in with us.
Yeah, this should be a lot of fun.
Yeah. We were talking earlier off stream about your Kickstarter, and it has just exploded. I think we were all expecting it to do. At least I was expecting it to do quite well, but it's definitely exceeded any expectations I might have had already. So that's awesome.
It definitely exceeded our expectations too. I remember like the week before we launched, me, my daughter, and my girlfriend, we put on we made a bet and we're like, okay, whoever gets the closest to what we're gonna get, you know, that person or the losers have to buy the winner dinner. And so yeah, we were at like 3,000, 4,000, and I was like, I'll go crazy and say $5,000, but we're obviously losers, but big winners thanks to this community.
Yes.
That means they owe you multiple dinners, right?
Right?
You get the closest with Price is Right rules.
I
Yes.
guess that's true.
Absolutely. So Thomas is calling in. He runs a game store, as you all know, and he had to cover for somebody tonight last minute. So he's calling in with audio. That's why you don't see him popping up there. But he is on the call, and he'll be live with us when we do the world building. Chat, before I forget again, we are doing the giveaway. I posted the directions into the chat just now again, but if you want to enter our Talon&Claw giveaway, just put exclamation point Talon into chat one time, and you will be entered into the drawing. And we'll do that giveaway right at the beginning of the world building stream around 9:30 Central Time. You don't have to be present to win. We'll reach out to you as best we can. Um, and yeah, we're happy and
The
really
what?
appreciative that he's willing to do that with us.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you do need to do is you need to follow Talon and Claw on Twitter. You need to check out their Kickstarter, and you need to follow us here on Twitch on the Drifters Atlas.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Uh, you do have to follow us here live to be entered into the drawing. So, Anthony, I have a list of questions for you. We're going to get this interview started. Um, and chat, if you have questions for Anthony, you can definitely raise them, and we'll try to pull those in as well. Anthony's Kickstarter is making whiskey barrel dice vaults right now. You can check out his Etsy page at Talon&Claw and see what sorts of vaults he makes on the regular. But they're doing a special run of whiskey barrel lids. Is that right? That get cut up and made into dice vaults.
That is correct. So we take old whiskey barrel lids that have been in the aging process, and we make dice vaults out of them. And they smell amazing, and they're very functional. I can't say that word, but they're very unique, and serve a good purpose to
Awesome.
keeping your dice safe.
And the big bearded nerd is saying that there's coffee involved too with your.
Oh yes. So we this whole idea came to be with mine and Smuggler's Coffee's kind of relationship and friendship that we've started on Twitter, and he actually ages coffee in old whiskey, rum, tequila barrels and comes out with different barrel aged coffees. And he would, once he's done aging it, he would be like, "Hey, can you make something with this wood? I think it would be really cool." So he sent me some wood, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'll make a dice vault out of it." And we did, and it was very good. It's almost biblical, like I created it and it was good, like,
I,
so we made there's probably only five five or six of them out there in the world right now
mhm.
that are actually made. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting like a whole pallet of these into my shop, and the smell is going to be amazing, and it's going to be really good. So Smugglers is actually doing a limited edition special barrel aged coffee for the Kickstarter and the Kickstarter only. It's got custom mimic art by Adam Farster. He did a really cool job, and I ordered some holographic stickers of the art today to include just for fun because you know everybody supported us so much during this project. I kind of want to throw that in there as well.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome. We just hit the shot glass too, right? Anyone who packed at a certain level.
Yeah, so anybody that's backed at a $50 pledge or higher, we've included the Talon&Claw shot glass, and these things are big. They're good 2 ounce shots. So that'd be nice. We just wanted to do that as a thank you, and yeah. So yeah, everybody's getting a shot glass at that level. So if you've already pledged and you're like at $49, just go throw an extra dollar in there. We'd love to give it to everybody, but we still got to make some money, and the shot glasses aren't cheap. Getting them customized.
Absolutely. Um, One of the things that I thought was really cool that you talked about before was that these vaults are going to be serialized. Is that right?
Yeah, so we got a laser engraver on its way right now, and on the back we're gonna put our Talon&Claw logo, and then we're gonna serialize it. So we're gonna do like, I know Travis is in the chat. He's got dibs on 007 out of however many we do. So um, so yeah, we're gonna serialize them, and then I don't know if we're gonna continue making them after the Kickstarter, just to give that kind of collectability to them.
Hmm.
But after that, we're not serializing them or anything like that. So this is kind of like a collectible.
That's very cool. I love like the thing that I liked about them was that they still have all like the markings, and they're all cut up, of course, so that you don't necessarily will be able to read anything, but they have all the like the markings and stuff. So it's not just a piece of wood that smells nice, which would have been awesome in and of itself, but it's got that like vintage rustic aspect to it as well with the different stamps and stencils that they would put on the barrels.
Right. Yeah, that was a big thing for me because I used to make furniture full time, and I got my start kind of making rustic farmhouse tables and reclaimed wood stuff. And these whiskey barrels like spoke to me, like
Oh
you got
yeah.
to keep the patina, you got to keep the writing. It tells a story. And I mean, I'm an Army reservist, so I go to Kentucky every year to train ROTC cadets in their final kind of test before they graduate and they get into the Army. Um, so I did the Bourbon Trail probably like 4 or 5 times, and
Hmm.
so seeing the barrel houses and seeing the history that goes into these, it's just so cool, and a lot of people appreciate that. And the response that we've gotten, like, people love the writing, people love the smell, people love the idea of reusing these in this way. So it's something I'm really passionate about, and I really can't wait for everybody that wants one to have one.
You
There's a huge connection too with D&D, especially, and drinking when you meet in a tavern or you meet with your players. So I'm sure this strikes an accord with a lot of our players uh, who have always played sort of that dwarven trope or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was talking with somebody, and they said that take the tavern with you. Every party meets in a tavern, and you're taking a literal like drinking item that you could have gotten from the tavern and taking it on
That's
your adventure with
fantastic.
you. So I mean, whether it's any tavern, I mean, you could be in Salt Marsh, you could be in Waterdeep, you could be anywhere, and you have like a piece of your tavern. You could role play that you got that.
Big Bearded Nerd, thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it. Um,
Hey, see you later, assistant to the regional manager, Dwight.
um, so yeah, so you got this like really interesting matrimony between not just woodworking and carpentry, but also now the drinking aspect and then the D&D aspect, all of them coming together. How or why? Let's remove the whiskey barrel for a moment from it. But how did you come into combining your woodworking with your interest in tabletop?
So to be honest, like I've only been playing D&D probably for 2 years now. I got into it because my girlfriend's friends played. She DM'd, and her husband was a player, and we'd go over there on Sundays, and me, my daughter, and my girlfriend would play, and then um, for her birthday, we were looking up like what we could get her that was kind of D&D related, and we found like DM screens,
Mm-hmm.
and so I looked on Google and stuff like that, and I'm like, okay, I could make something like this, and so I made one for her, and we gave it to her, and she loved it so much, and she's like, there's so many people that make these out there, and you could probably sell these. And at the time, I was working construction because I quit my furniture business because it was it was a drain on me as an individual, and I just lost my passion for that because the clients that I had wanted things yesterday. They wanted things for Walmart prices, and when you sell things for that cheap, you can't make a living and be
Right.
comfortable. And so I was working construction. I made her a DM screen, and then a couple months later, I was thinking about it. Like maybe I should make a couple and put them on Etsy.
Yeah.
And so I did, and it's over the past 15 to 18 months. I can't remember where we're at. It's taken off, and I do this full time. And I love every minute of it. Like we just got a new shop. We're about to hire our first employee. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
So,
1,300 sales in a little over a year is no joke.
and that. I mean, I look at that number all the time, and I don't know how many days like have elapsed since last February 9th. That's when I started, but that's all handmade stuff by me. So I mean,
Yeah.
you
Gosh.
see, you see how much we do and how much like my hands work and how many hours I've poured into this, and it's so cool to see it kind of paying off, and the interaction with the community, like everybody in chat. I recognize your names in chat, so I mean I want to give a huge thank you to you guys, um, because I do notice who you are when you show up on my Twitter feed. You're not just some random name. Like I know who follows us, and I know who interacts with us all the time.
Yeah, and thank you, GM Travis, for helping us out and sharing links as people bring it up. That's a huge help, and we appreciate it. Um, so so you've done this for a year. You had the idea for um, the whiskey barrel um, um, concept. What made you then take that concept and start a Kickstarter? What was the inspiration for that, or who did you see? Did you have an inspiration like a somebody that you saw do something similar, or was it just something that was pitched to you?
Like doing the whiskey vaults or doing a Kickstarter or
The Though I'm either way, but mainly I'm interested on why a Kickstarter for this project. You've been doing this for a year on Etsy, so why now a Kickstarter?
So I was talking with Smuggler's Coffee, and I was like, because he doesn't have. I mean, he roasts or he barrel ages coffee beans, and he doesn't have barrel rooms, where he has tons of barrels. So I was like, how do I? Because every time I posted a picture that I made one, people went crazy for it. They're like, I have a mighty need. Invader Zim was popping up on my on
Yeah.
my my Twitter profile, and I was like, how do I get these to the people that want it? And so I started doing some digging, and the cost of getting one barrel lid sent to me is absolutely ridiculous. Like, you know, the shipping alone, these things are like 24-inch round circles that weigh like 10 to 15 pounds each. So shipping is astronomical. So to get um kind of a whole lot, I decided to do a Kickstarter to see how much the demand was, and then to be able to get them here at a good price and not charge you $100 a vault or $80 a vault. So that was my goal. And plus, I mean, we all have seen like, Wormwood and Elderwood and all these other big companies. Like Kickstarter seems to be the way of the future
Yep.
for kind of raising money to make your dreams come true. I could make a couple whiskey vaults and put them on my Etsy shop, and a few people are going to buy them here and there, whereas it's not as efficient if I say, hey, who wants one? And everybody says like, I do. And then I say, okay, great, let's make them all. And
Yeah.
then we have a great project. So I think it's a really good platform for creators. Like, I think you guys have launched some successful Kickstarters.
Yeah.
It just kind of gets your idea out there, and it almost proves the market before wasting your time on it.
Yeah, yeah. There's definitely an investment, as I'm sure you've learned through this process. I know I did. Um, Kickstarters are an investment in time, and they are an investment in at least some money and effort in that aspect. It's definitely not to do a successful Kickstarter, especially one of the level that you've done. It shows that you put forth time and attention to detail into that project. Things don't happen like that by accident. Um, and there can be a learning curve to it. So one of my fascinations is the Kickstarter RPG um, scene and seeing how people present themselves there in that world, and what sort of things they offer, what do their timelines look like, how do they present themselves as a company, how do they present themselves as a company on the back end, after the Kickstarter's done and over, and they're communicating with their followers from there on out. It's a really interesting dynamic watching these folks uh, uh, sell themselves in a very unique atmosphere. So I agree. I agree.
Yeah. The other thing is that I think Zach has cost me hundreds of dollars by messaging me. Take a look at this Kickstarter. It looks really cool. I've backed it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, here I know $10 is coming out of my pocket right now.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So we spend at least 2 nights a week skimming through Kickstarters of things that are just of these cool companies, and that's part of the reason why we wanted to do this creator interview. And you're starting this off with something that's not like an RPG or something, but we want to get a lot of people. If there's anyone in chat who has a project coming up, please reach out to us, because we really want to do this to help lift up different Kickstarter and creator projects, but also so we can help make that a successful community, right? The whole point of, as you said earlier, Anthony, you love how the same kind of people are in chat, the same kind of people are on Twitter, and the same people are helping your business succeed and your goals succeed. One of the great things about what we can do here, hopefully, is we can build a network of creators and help everybody succeed.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. That's our fascination is building communities within the people who, like you said, Anthony, are working to make their dreams a reality. That's an exciting atmosphere to be in, an exciting community to be in. I wanted to shift gears for a moment because we talked a lot about dice vaults, but you've got a couple other, and the dice vaults that we're talking about are the long, um, narrow ones that would hold a set of dice, and that's it. But you've got other products on your Etsy page, and I wanted to maybe if you wanted to highlight those for a minute. I know we're talking about the dice vault, but we have people in chat who might also be interested in some of those other things.
Yeah, so we do sticking with like dice vaults, we do like the dual hex hero vault, which is it's a larger, almost like clutch size dice vault. It holds two sets of dice and room for your mini. It also holds, like Magic the Gathering tokens. I take mine the Friday Night Magic when I go. I've got my +1/+1 counters, and then the center of it holds a pint glass very well. It's almost like a little coaster, so you
Uh-huh.
don't spill it all over your expensive cards. And then, so those are fun to make as well. And then our biggest thing that we sell is our Dungeon Master screens. We've got our standard two that we kind of launched back when we began, which is the light one with the dice on the front and then the Dungeon Master logo on the back. And then we came out with the Siege. We have a light stain and a dark stain Siege, which has got more of a like gate hardware on it. And we're giving away one of those tonight. That's what the giveaway's for in chat. So do exclamation point Talon if y'all want one. And then I came out with the Wingay and Paddock screens and the Wingay and Purple Heart screens, um, which are by far my favorite.
That's the one I want real bad. I'm gonna buy that one here soon.
Yeah. Yeah, those are fun to make. When I did furniture, I did a lot of cutting boards where I mixed a bunch of woods together, and I was like, I need a way to do that, but with DM screens. And I'm like, Wingay and Paduk, like black and red, like that just to me it screams like Descent into Avernus. Like you just
Oh yeah.
fit that campaign so well. It just fits so well, anyways, because I don't know. I'm a big fan of it.
If I buy one, can you send me some sort of email that says I won some sort of giveaway? That way I could show it to my wife.
Yes, we could make that happen.
Yeah, I'll purchase one. I'm not asking for anything extra. Just purchase it and then just send me an email. Be like, your free DM screen is on the way. That way, she might actually be in chat, so I might be giving myself away. But just something. So I just bought. So we could do all this. I just bought a $800, $1,000 computer almost. So streaming works better. So I really can't pull too much in the D&D scene until we start making some ends back from this.
Right. And here you are streaming in your car.
There you go.
Yeah, so we do that, and then we kind of pulled the trigger really quick on our Pride vaults.
Yeah.
And that was something. So me personally, like, I really like giving back to people and people in need. Like, there's so many people that struggle out there. There's so many people that could use it. A little help. Whether it's we participated in Jasper's Game Week last week. I got to play with Thomas, and that's how we met, and that was so much fun. But you know, helping raise money for that, helping raise money for anything or donating to people in need, like that's always close to my heart. And I've always said that if Talon&Claw gets to like a really big place to where we're doing very well, we want to do something that helps the homeless out very much, because it's a really soft spot for me.
Yeah.
But we launched the Pride Vaults because I love Spectreply, and so I had custom Spectreply made for us as a rainbow, and like, I'm gonna make dice vaults out of these. And so we launched that a couple weeks ago because people went crazy. I see Hawkmer in chat, I think. No, Mr. TL Wolf is looking forward to their Pride Vault. But we made those, and $10 of every vault that we sell, we're sending directly to the Trevor Project. And then we have all
That's
the
really
other
cool, man.
We have all the other Pride flags coming. I haven't made any yet, but all the other color combinations are coming, and we're gonna make those. And yeah, so I'm really proud of that. And I think we were close to $700 or $800 raised for the Trevor Project so far in a couple weeks.
Awesome. That's very
Yeah,
cool.
that's the same reason we jumped on Jasper's Game Day, where I got to play with you on Sunday, and then I ran our first game of Ascension, the Motherlode, on Tuesday, and Zach got to play at our game. And overall, I don't know if you saw the number, but overall, Jasper's Game Day stream raised $33,000 for suicide awareness.
It's incredible. Like, I think, and it's so crazy. Like, Fenway, she's only 17 to put that together. I know she has some help, but that's incredible. Like, as a young adult to put something together like that. And it was just so much fun to watch her put something together that did so well and had so much publicity, and so many celebrities within the space come together for a whole week of awesomeness.
Yeah. Yeah. Lou, a friend of ours in chat, is asking about a quite larger product and hoping that maybe that might come into your store one day. Lou is interested in gaming tables.
Oh, I see that. Gaming tables. So that is, I used to make tables, and that's what I did for a living for like 3 years. So to say that it's not on my radar would be a lie. And I've been thinking about how to make them, but I haven't put anything together yet. And when it comes to tables, like shipping is the biggest ordeal. And I want to make something that's never been seen before, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I I've got a couple projects that I'm working on. Like I want to do uh like live edge resin
Ooh, yeah.
DM screens here soon.
Mm-hmm.
So I've thought of doing gaming tables where you have the whole table and then you have like the recess where the play surface is or whatnot, and then like that insert will be like a live edge resin piece that snaps into place there. You know, something that's gonna be a wow piece, you
Mm.
know. And then also like do something that's kind of on the economy level to where everybody could afford it, but setting up shipping and stuff like that could be a real killer, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a huge like going from, like dice vaults and DM screens, which are easily shipped within reason, and easily produced even in a smaller shop. And I don't know how big your shop is. To a table is like a scale of magnitude, I would imagine. Um,
Yeah,
but
you definitely have to set up your space differently. You know, like right now my shop's set up to where I have different stations for different things, and you know, I come in and like I have the first station, then I go to the second, then I go to the third, then I go to the fourth, and then you know my CNC machine's set up in its own space. So to gear up to do table work, like it would have to interfere or it would have to be deliberate because it's a whole nother nightmare and a whole nother. Tables are big, dice vaults are really small.
I will say though that don't sell yourself out just because of shipping. I think a lot of people, at least in this industry, realize if they're in the market for a gaming table, there's going to be a hefty shipping cost.
Right.
So, especially with how well you keep your other products priced, if you can make money and still keep it at entry level, some sort of table, I think people are going to at least explore the thought of shipping something.
Right. Yeah, so I mean it's definitely not like out of the question. It's not, we have some cool like smaller projects first, and then maybe when we get to the point where we hopefully have a couple employees, then that'll kind of free me up to let my creative side go, you know,
yeah.
and kind of come up with something, have more time to develop something that's polished and perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Um,
When
we
you guys get so big that you need a Midwest office, you let us know in Ohio.
Right.
I want to shift gears. We've got about 10 minutes left here on the interview side of things. And as much as I do enjoy talking about all the accessories around the hobby, I'd like to talk about the hobby for just a minute. And I have a couple of questions tied to D&D. And I know you said you've only been playing for a couple of years. But it always fascinates me to hear how did you get into the hobby, or what drew you in?
So for me, it was kind of a way for my girlfriend to hang out and spend time with her best friends. They were playing, and then she kind of pitched the idea to me, and I was all about it. Like moment one, you know, like I like playing Magic. I like interacting with people and like you know doing tournaments and just gaming in general. Like I like interacting and having a human connection with people, you know, whereas in D&D is a perfect fit for that. Like you sit around a table for hours and you talk and you drink some good drinks and you have some good snacks and you have some good times, you know, and I'm not very, I'm kind of an introvert, so to speak, but also an extrovert, you know, but it allows me to kind of break out of my shell and kind of play a character and play just have fun. Like every Saturday before this whole COVID stuff, um, we'd play D&D for 6 to 7 hours a day.
Cool.
And then we play board games, and then we play, Mortal Kombat on my Sega Genesis. Like I love gaming and just doing something. So I think D&D is a good fit. It helps me on a personal level. I kind of personal. I suffer from PTSD from my army experience, and so I have a hard time focusing. Um, because my brain's always going. I'm always kind of on alert and stuff like that. And so
Mm.
D&D allows me to focus. Doing a stream like this or listening to a story forces me to focus because I have to focus on the story or I'm not going to know what's going on or I'm not going to have fun. And having something fun attached to that and creating something, really helps me in a personal, like, mental health kind of way. So I'm all about it.
Love it. Everybody has a unique way that they came into the hobby. Some of us got introduced early on, when we were little with an uncle or a parent or an older sibling, and then some of us, and more and more frequently, um, in today's era, a lot of us are coming in by people pulling us in at an older age. It's a lot of folks like you, or I came in when I was in college, aspects like that, and I think that you look back at the infograph that Wizards put out last month, where they talked about the spread of their age demographic and how diverse it is right now. Um, there's a ton of young people, and by young I mean I think they said that like 40% of their current player base is under the age of 24, which is insane for what it was 10 years ago, right? Um, but if you look at it, it's pretty much a clean spread across all age groups. And I'm like, that's such a cool thing for a hobby that we've got folks on both ends of the age spectrum coming together and playing the same games at the same table and having a great time. Where else are you seeing that? Not very many other places.
Right. And I mean, it's really cool because, my daughter's 13 and she is playing at a game table with, we got a bunch of dudes playing. We got, my girlfriend DMing, and she fits in just perfect. She's like our halfling cleric that runs around and like wants to help everybody and heal everything. So it's just like, and then we've got a barbarian who, just wants to smash all the time. Like, so it's kind of like a funny dynamic where everybody gets to be who they want to be at the table, and it's just a good old time. Like, and
Mm-hmm.
and to even like be a maker in this space and to be able to be received by the community, as a maker and someone that wants to have a DM screen in front of them while they play their game and, hold their dice. Dice are sacred objects. Like the feeling I get when people you know, purchase something from us or gift something that we've made, like there's feelings attached to that. And I want
Oh
everybody
yeah.
in chat to know that, like, when I make you something, like it means a lot. You're not just a sale, you're not just an order. You mean something to me because I made that for you, and you're choosing to use that at your gaming table versus so many other different products.
Yeah.
Oh, so I have a question, but as we get close here, I need to know what is your favorite class, and this will tell us everything we need to know about you.
So I've only played three characters. I played one in our Jasper's game day. Um, but the character I'm playing now is a Dragonborn Ranger, Gloomstalker Ranger, who runs around acting like he's Lego Batman. So that's who I
There you
am.
go. Lego Batman, Dragonborn, Gloomstalker Ranger. Yep, that's
I can
about
see
right.
it.
Yep, yep,
I can see it.
I am the knight.
yes.
And he usually fails when he tries to do something cool, like, scale a building or something like that. He always fails.
Hence the Lego part of the Lego Batman. Yes.
Yeah, he's still working on the Batman portion of it.
uh, guys, I think, yeah, we still got a few more minutes. I'm
I've got a I've got another question for you.
Go for it.
Yeah.
So one of the big things with the Kickstarter is that you have a choice of, I think it's 23 millimeter or 26 millimeter.
Ah, yes.
Could you explain that to our followers?
Yeah, so a 23 millimeter dice vault is going to be perfect for all your standard size dice, and let's name plug like tabletop loot, die hard dice, ice cream dice. They're all going to fit inside that, no problem. But the 26 millimeter dice was specifically made for um, like your gemstone dice, your dispel dice. Um, Handmade dice are usually a little bit larger. So yeah, if you have something that's not your normal standard resin acrylic dice, then you're gonna want to go for the 26.
Gotcha, perfect.
Perfect.
I thought that that might be the case, but I know that I was debating on which tier to go with um, for that and then some of the other projects, and I wanted to make sure that everybody knew what the difference was.
And Atheros is asking, seeing the way that the vaults are doing, the whiskey barrel vaults, are there going to be more whiskey barrel products in the future?
Yeah, so yeah, that's a good question because there is, and I think I'm getting a few barrel lids on Friday. And I will be playing around with those. I'm going to So my goal is I think this Kickstarter was really successful and people seem to really like the idea. So my goal is to fulfill this as fast as we can without sacrificing any kind of quality or whatnot. But and then I think I want to roll into another one once we're all fulfilled and do rolling trays and a DM screen.
Cool. Cool.
so so this would be like the preliminary like first thing we do, and I'm gonna be playing around here behind the scenes, and I'll probably share pictures because I can't ever keep a secret. But yeah.
Ooh. I've got a question tied to upcoming things, and I know we spent half the stream talking about things that haven't even been made yet. But um, with the current state of our climate, we don't get to get around a table that often, and most of our gaming happens online. Um, and I love dice vaults just as much as the next dog, but I was hoping that I might see pop up on your Etsy account at some point some coasters.
Ooh, yeah, I think Travis could say something about my coasters in chat.
Yeah.
um but yeah, so he approached me around Christmas time to make his party a set of coasters
Yeah.
for his whole play group. He DMs, and so they have a tavern that believe it's Waterdeep, um, where they purchased a tavern or they got it as part of something, and he uh he sent me the name of their tavern, and then I made him some Padook coasters, and so his whole party
Ooh,
has coasters.
that's
And
awesome.
so I mean, I've also thought of, because I mean, yeah, I'm in the D&D space, but I like doing other things. Um, so I mean, I don't know if you can see it, but like the R2D2, the
Yeah.
Wolverine, and the Stargate, I made all those out of wood, and then I vectorize stuff, and then I paint the silhouettes on it. So I don't know how clear it is, but that's
Yeah.
stuff that
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would want to make. And I've thought about making like nerdy cutting boards for the holidays, or just regular cutting boards in general, because not everybody's a nerd, or not everybody likes D&D, but their family is. And if people love us and want to support us, and I'll make your mom a cutting board, or I'll make your aunt a cutting board, and then you can support us, your favorite gaming accessory maker, while giving somebody that's not really in the gaming something.
Yeah, absolutely. And I always have, and I know you do on the stream. Yep, right there. I always have my glass here on the table as I'm running my games online, and I'm like, yeah. When I was browsing your Etsy yesterday, I'm like, if he had coasters, he would have another purchase from me. Um, because that'd be real sweet to have one sitting here. But I know
Do
all
you
things in
have
time.
do you have an email, Anthony, that people could ask for specialty requests?
Yeah, so my email is info.talon&claw at gmail.com. I'm typing in chat right now.
Okay, that's what I was about to do. But that's awesome. Yeah, like I of course we've seen. I think a lot of us have seen your Etsy. But is that the best way to get a hold of you if they wanted something special, like Travis did, like GM Travis did with the coasters, or like Zach's gonna do with the coasters?
Yeah, email's fine. May get lost in that email address because that's where all my shipping notifications and all the crazy stuff goes. So if you're on Twitter, just hit me up on Twitter. If you're on Instagram, hit me up on Instagram. Facebook, Talon and Claw, and then yeah, those are the best ways because we're a small company. It's just me and my girlfriend. My girlfriend handles like the Etsy conversations for the most part, but if you wanna just hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, I'll be there to answer it.
Awesome.
Oh, Travis posted a link to the coasters.
Nice.
And we are going to put out on the Drifters Atlas Facebook and the Drifters Atlas Instagram. We'll put out all the links to your contacts also. That way we can sort of get that information out there as well.
Yep.
Perfect.
Guys, we have just a couple minutes here. We're going to transition here in just a moment. We're going to take a few minute bio break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do some world building with Anthony. And we're going to have Thomas's video, so we're going to be rocking and rolling. For those of you who are hopping into chat for the first time, I'll go ahead and tell you a little bit what you jumped into. Every Tuesday at 9 o'clock Central Time, we do a thing called Ascension World Building right here on this channel. And we are in the midst of creating a world with chat, by chat's suggestions, by chat's opinions. We have a nice, tight-knit, small community that really gives good input. We build this world with a couple programs called Wonder Draft and Legend Keeper, which you'll be able to see showcased above. And then as chat builds the world, Thomas and I and a few other writers are writing adventures for that world and creating subclasses and player options of all sorts. And those are things that you'll be able to pick up on our Patreon, or you'll be able to pick up on a Kickstarter in the upcoming months. We have an adventure that's in playtest right now. That's going to be a lot of fun. So we would encourage you to stick around right after our break here and join Anthony, Thomas, and I for another hour-ish of world building. And I think we're going to explore the tundra and maybe do some winter.
I've
We're
been
gonna explore the
brainstorming on that.
tundra. The other thing that's pretty cool that we'll throw in chat here before anybody leaves, if they are going to, is our Patreon is going to have a surprise announcement tonight.
Yep.
We have and we'll throw a quick teaser, but we have a Patreon tier that's coming out starting in June. That not only will you get your PDFs, but you'll get a set of minis every month shipped quarterly to play in our world. So the minis will come with the PDFs.
Yep, and these aren't minis that you're going to find in a store. These aren't minis that you're going to get from WizKids or Reap or something like that. They're really cool minis that Thomas is printing out on his own resin printers. So they're going to be very unique. And because we're printing them ourselves, you're going to get a whole heck of a lot of minis for your Patreon pledge. So it's going to be awesome. And limited.
We'll go in once I get my camera up and rolling. We'll show a couple of the models here in the intro in a couple minutes. But I'm gonna get my camera going, and I'll see you guys here in a couple minutes.
Yep. So
yeah, stick around.
So we're gonna close out now. Again, go check out the links are all throughout chat, or you can check them on our Facebook feeds. Check out Anthony's Kickstarter, Whiskey Barrel Dice Vaults. Check out his Etsy at Talon and Claw, And we'll see you guys in just a few minutes.
Before anybody gets off, don't forget to hit that exclamation point Talon and follow the page, and I'll get you locked up for the giveaway.
Yes. Yep.
Awesome,
Thank you, guys. We'll see you in a minute.